All right, what's up, y'all? Welcome into the LA Sports Brotherhood. It's me, Brian, here with my brother Matthew, and we're going to talk about what we think is the key adjustment that was made in Game 4 that really changed up a losing effort, the one that we've seen the last three games, to, frankly, they kind of dominated the whole game. There were some stretches where it felt like, it was about to slip, and it kind of did a little bit, but the game wasn't really, I don't think it even got within 5 points, maybe at the very very end, but it was in hand the whole time. And yeah, so Matt, you want to give anything before we get into it?
No, man. I mean, the energy felt different to me was the biggest thing. I think it makes it even more frustrating in a way that game three just complete lack of energy and it was a pathetic performance. And to me, they came out like we're not getting swept. We have some pride, and it's good to see that.
Yeah, so we talked about, and we're going to talk about an adjustment to the offense and the way they were running sets. But the reality is, at least to me, and Matt, you could give your opinion on this too, is that we won because we had more than two guys play well. Reeves was good, and honestly, I think we need to acknowledge Reeves' defense on Murray a little bit more. Murray obviously hit the game winner in game two, and he's hit clutch shot after clutch shot. So it's like it feels tough to say that we've guarded him well, but we have. He hasn't had the crazy efficient game at all. He's actually been super inefficient. He's missed a bunch of shots. Gabe Vincent, Reeves are really doing a good job of pressuring him. Maybe that's why Reeves has no legs to score and he's looked anemic on offense. But yesterday he looked good. D'Lo looked like D'Lo, like, and it's I can't even be happy. I don't know what to feel with D'Lo because if he just gave me that, he wasn't insane. He didn't break the game. He just played like regular season D'Angelo Russell, and they were up by 20 points like the entire game. That's all we've been asking for. And if I had to guess, we won't get it in game 5. Yeah, that's what it is. Sorry, I was used to getting swept. I didn't think about what comes after game 4. But yeah, so before we get into the adjustment stuff, Matt, just you want to talk about the performance from the guards?
Yeah, it's what we needed all series long, and we have yet the past we played them 8 times in a row. The past 8 times we played them in the playoffs, we didn't get that from those two at the same time in
Yeah,
the same game. And the first time we do, we win. What a shock! Who
yeah,
would have thought? But I think the other thing to kind of bridge that is even without both of them on the past two games, we had a lead in the first half.
yeah.
So another big thing to me was the consistency into the second half for the third to the fourth to not have that crazy drought of scoring. And I think those two are just very clearly connected. Why we didn't suddenly just go drive from the field in third and fourth is because those two guys are shooting well, they're playing well. We were just getting so many good looks over and over again. And we saw this offense and what it can be even against a physical team like the Nuggets. Because, everything was a good look for AD, for LeBron, for Reeves, for D'Lo. Rui didn't have a big game, but at least he was efficient. 4 for 8, 1 for 3. I'll take that, I guess.
Yeah.
So I think those two things really are connected. The offense was flowing well, and the two guards that can both put up 20, they put up 20, and we won. It's that simple.
Yeah. 100% I agree. Won by 11 points. I actually didn't even realize that. Only lost the third quarter by 2. Massive. But yeah, as you were saying, like, it's a big thing. And frankly, getting into the major point of this episode, they changed the way they were doing things because instead of doing the matchup hunting stuff, they didn't do that at all. I know that there's gonna be not gonna be. I'm sure they did it like at some point. There wasn't a 0% matchup hunting thing, but even down the stretch, it was just pick and roll after pick and roll after pick and roll. It wasn't. It just wasn't what we saw. We got to the same point at halftime. We've led, by the way, every single game at halftime, twice, 3 times by double digits. We've led in this series for 90 minutes compared to I think 40. We've doubled up the time leading. So it's it's basically it felt like the same series as last year. Every game felt like it was the same script. But the reality is last year we were scraping to be up by a few points. It wasn't like this team that team was out talented, they were outmatched. It wasn't the same. The scores felt the same, the process felt the same. But it was always a big comeback that we were making. This year we've been up. We've been up a lot. Like just statistically, factually, we have led double the amount of time the Nuggets have this series. But it never felt, I mean, we didn't win anything, and it never felt like anything was secure because when the third quarter came around and the Nuggets' intensity really ratcheted up, the team went away from what worked. And this time they didn't. It was pick and roll after pick and roll. Whether it was LeBron and AD, Reeves and AD, D'Lo and AD, which by the way is another massive thing that gets eliminated when D'Lo is shooting 0 for 10, because the D'Lo pick and roll, he's the only one that plays super controlled to the point where he has like an in between game, and he doesn't finish well, but he's always at least drawing another defender for AD to clean up if D'Lo misses. He's the only one that really gets the paint while actually taking the screen, because Reeves basically rejects every single screen that he gets. And I thought that was a big thing. It was a big mentality shift for me because LeBron had Gordon on him for the entire fourth quarter, essentially. And every single game we've seen so far, he was pointing for D'Lo or Rui or someone to come screen and get Gordon off of him and get the switch. But instead, it was AD just going up to set the screen and they're running pick and roll. And guess what? Aaron Gordon's an incredible player, great, incredible defender, incredible role player. He is 6'11". It's hard for him to navigate screens because he's a big man. And we just didn't consider that, I guess, for the first 4 games or for the first 3 games of the season. But yeah, if you screen someone that is ostensibly a center, it's going to be tough for them to navigate. So if LeBron gets one step ahead of him, he still has the body to keep him off. And we're just getting to the basket over and over. And, you hope that this is something that can carry over. We'll talk about the prospects of the future. But, yeah, Matt, do you want to talk about this adjustment and how you think it changed the game for him?
Yeah, I think one thing that's important is this wasn't something where it was like LeBron scored 60 points, AD scored 60 points, D'Lo hit 10 threes. If that happened, it was like, and the Nuggets just played awful, I think that'd be another thing. This was more so like the Nuggets couldn't stop us.
Yeah.
And like it was the whole team. It wasn't, they couldn't stop one guy. They couldn't stop our offense, which is crazy to say when you're down 3-0, but that's how good we can be. So that, I mean, it's not like building confidence because we're down 3-1 still, but it's like, if anything, it's more frustrating what could have been.
Yeah.
But it's such a unique series, and it's so different to think that like they couldn't stop us. It wasn't, we were a well-oiled machine from the first minute to the last minute. We were just moving along, and 4 guys with 20 plus points. And we can do that the next 3 games. We really could, because they don't have an answer for that. They really haven't stopped us all year. We've stopped all series. We've stopped ourselves with the poor performances from D'Lo, the poor performances from Reeves, from every single human being that's not AD and LeBron.
Yeah.
But the other guys today played good. The only really thing I can say the Nuggets have done was that Gordon adjustment in game 2, which we talked about extensively.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we'll see that the next game, the game after that, whatever. But the other thing I want to talk about was 2 things kind of related. The first thing, they have the best 5-unit group in basketball, and 2 of those guys really struggled. Aaron Gordon looked like Wilt Chamberlain in game 3 today, or this past game. He had 7 points.
Yeah.
Jamal Murray, like you said, really hasn't been efficient all year. He was 9-20, or all series. He was 9-23. So I think that's huge to have poor performances from that group of 5.
Yeah.
If you can have 2 of them to be slow, then that's huge, especially when we have our 2 guards of 20, and that's really important. But to me, it wasn't even the points with Gordon. We won the rebound battle.
Yeah.
In that game, and to me, that was the third just enormous point. What did AD have? AD had 20, 22,
23,
something like that.
Yeah.
23 rebounds. That was just as big as everything else. Aaron Gordon had 3 rebounds.
Yeah.
And
genuinely, that's big.
That was just so huge. It was 46 Lakers, Denver 40, second chance points. What was it? Lakers had 14, Denver had 5. That, like today, we did everything right in game 4. And that to me is just as big as the guard scoring, and the consistency was the rebound battle. And it's like, Can we do that every game? We'll see. But they gotta work their asses off for every single rebound. AD clearly did that.
Yeah, honestly, thanks for bringing the rebounding up because that's huge. It's the first time, like you said, the first time we won the rebounding battle the entire game, series, I should say. We were talking about outlier performances. You were like if D'Lo maybe he hit like 10-3, something that's not repeatable. AD grabbing 23 boards, it is repeatable because especially because there's only 3 offensive rebounds, so he was just cleaning up the glass. It's just tough because like LeBron has picked up rebounding slack, but no one else had more than 5. So if AD only grabs 15 again, only in quotes because that's so much. But yeah, everyone knew this already. Anyone that respects themselves enough to say they know basketball, they understand basketball. Everyone knows AD is the most important player on this team, and he has been for a long time. He's been the best player on the team for the last 2 years. If he doesn't do every single thing on defense, despite the genuine effort Reeves is giving and Gabe Vincent is giving, if he's not doing everything, if he's not cleaning up every board, it looks like how it's looked the first 3 games. So AD, I mean, this is honestly, everything is on AD's shoulders. And he's given everything we've needed. Well, he's given everything he can because we've needed more, but it wasn't from him. So yeah, we have another vid coming out talking about how we can continue this momentum into Game 5. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. See you soon. Go Lakers.